Awesome, thanks. Okay, hi Nicole.
How are you?
Good. Let us know, Stephen, before you're ready to actually go live.
Okay, we're about 30 seconds.
All right, there should be some more people jumping in too shortly.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Steve Kimbrough. Some of you know me as the Pod Brothers. Some of you know me as Ref Kimbrough. Some of you know me as, hey, stop that guy. He's got my wallet. But today, you know me as the PodOwwll because I'm Pod Ambassador. I am actually an Owwll ambassador. And today, actually, this whole week is about bringing awareness to how cool the Owwll app is, how cool the ambassadors are, how cool and amazing the folks who come on and follow the app and follow the ambassadors on the app. And those of you who are in a huge search for knowledge, and those of you who put your 10,000 hours of hard labor and hard knocks into what you do as an expert, and come on the app and be able to share that information. So awesome to be here. So we have Brian. Brian, how are you?
I am good. How are you, Stephen? It is so good to be here with you, and everyone else that here has joined us. And I know there's another one or two trying to get in. So this is awesome. Thank you for hosting this for us, Stephen.
Yeah, my pleasure. You know, this is trying to do your own podcast, as you know, is definitely a work in progress. But then on top of that, trying to create a live stream broadcast when you're doing this stuff and trying to juggle it all. It's not easy, but you have to have a certain amount of passion and love to even want to jump in and tackle this spaghetti of craziness that is a podcast and a podcast network. But man, I love this stuff.
Absolutely. So do you want to go around, everybody introduce themselves? What's your thoughts? I'm not sure what your plan is for the night, Stephen.
Yeah, what I thought would be cool is we let everybody go around, introduce themselves, let us know, what it is that you do, and how the Owwll app is working for you. And let's take about, say, 60 seconds to get all that in, and then we'll jump right into the meat and potatoes of why we're here tonight.
Absolutely. Do you want me to go first, or should we why don't we let Nicole go first, since she's the lady of the group?
Yeah, that sounds good. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Thank you. My name's Nicole Harvick, and I write, speak, and teach about the quantum healing power using forgiveness. And it's really been quite a passion of mine. I went on a journey and learned all about healing and tried to heal myself after a divorce. And I realized the one thing that I was missing was forgiveness. And that really, if you understand that forgiveness is for you, it's going to make all the difference in the world. It really allows you to walk your path with grace and ease. And I'm very excited to be here tonight. Thanks for allowing me to speak. And I yield the mic.
Awesome. Welcome. Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Champ, why don't you go next, and then Will, and then I'll follow up, and then we'll let Stephen introduce himself.
All right. Sounds good. Can everybody hear me good?
Sounds good over here.
Sound great. You sound butter.
I love that. Thank you, Stephen, for this. And thank you, Brian. My name's Ron Brooks. People know me as Champ Ron. I'm here in Memphis, Tennessee. Kind of three areas where I add value, where I can be a resource to you. One, I run an organization as president and CEO. I have the privilege to serve River City Capital here in Memphis, where we provide low-cost capital and technical assistance mentorship for business owners in underserved areas of Memphis. And so that came kind of on the heels of what ended up being a 19-year banking career. So I was able to parlay that very nicely, and I was blessed to be able to do so. I'm also a real estate investor. I've been doing that since 2007, mostly in the single family space, and then also in improved land. And I also coach and mentor other people to be able to do that as a passive income strategy. Then lastly, I am a podcast host as well. Actually, tomorrow will be my 5th anniversary. Tomorrow, 5 years ago, in 2017, I started the Minding Your Business podcast, which is kind of the intersection of business and lifestyle. And actually just recorded for Owwll Week about an hour ago. Recorded a really good episode that'll be coming out here very soon. So I'm glad to be here with you great folks. And Stephen, again, thank you so much for being such a gracious host, my man.
All right. I'm Will. Can you guys hear me?
Go for it, Will.
So I'm Will. Again, Stephen, thank you for letting me be here. Brian, thanks for sort of coordinating this a little bit. I'm Will. I help women, especially sometimes fathers too, but usually mothers, going through divorce, especially a high conflict divorce, especially when you have a narcissist involved or a domestic violence abuser involved. And there's a lot of ins and outs, a lot of moving parts, especially when people sometimes misuse the police, misuse child welfare, even misuse the courts or one's own therapist and so on and so forth. There's ways in which to speak those languages and navigate that. That's what I specialize in, both having been through divorce myself and as well as been a special victims investigator for 15 years now, just hit my 15-year mark in July. And so I've helped over 1,000 women and some children, but women primarily, navigate these systems and get to a proper outcome. I've done it also with the private consulting, hybrid consulting coaching company that I run. And it's anywhere in the United States, Canada, UK, and we're here to help. And we serve and we provide information that's usually hidden, which again is the government aspects to it, CPS and police that's usually hidden from people. And that's what I do. Thank you.
Wow. Well, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
All right, Brian, you're the closer. You're the cleanup.
Well, we have to get your intro too. You want to talk to people about who you are, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Brian Strubhar here. I live in Northeast Ohio, and I run a business called Next Step Mindset, really helping people go from concept to cash flow by engineering and then building and climbing your own stairway to success. Because I believe if you take it one step at a time, you can do anything you can conceive if you truly believe that it's possible. So with that, I'm over and out. Back to you, Stephen.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming, and I appreciate those intros and getting to know you a little bit better. I can't wait to see how we can all interface down the road. What I do is I'm a professional stand-up comedian. I produce film, I produce podcasts, and I have my own podcast live streaming network. And I also own an outdoor drive-in movie theater, pop-up cinema mobile package. And what we do is mobile drive-in film festivals, red carpet, special screenings, and we do that all over the country. I rent and sell these units for folks who want to have their own events. And it's really, really, really exciting business to be on the content creation side of it, and then to aggregate it, and then be a distributor and also an event coordinator of said content. So from concept to the big screen is what I'm all about. And if you go to podbrothernation.com, that's where you can catch a lot of what we're doing. The latest thing I'm most excited about is the PNN Drive-In Podcast Film Fest, which is September 23rd through the 25th. So if you have a podcast that you want to submit to the film festival, I'll put the link in the chat a little bit later. So that's a little bit about me. So thank you guys for coming. And for those of you who are listening, if you have any questions, if you go to Pod Brother Nation, you'll see the live now, and you can go in there, and there's an area where you can chat, ask a few questions, and we can try to fill those for you. But today we are going to, it's all about the Owwll app and ambassadors, and what it is, how it works, what we plan on doing with it, what we've done with it, and where we are right now with the hand-to-hand combat every day using the app with the ambassadors and the Owwls who are all trying to get together and expand our brains. And the more our brains are expanded, the more monies we can put in our pockets, because smart people make money. work smarter, not harder. So who wants to go first? Brian, how do you think we should do this? Should we talk about like our experience first, or maybe go into a little bit of some ins and outs? I also have the app commercial I want to play, so we're going to take a few breaks. We're going to run some Owwll commercials so that those of you who don't really aren't picking up what we're throwing down, maybe the videos that we can show can help explain a little bit of it as well. So what do you think?
So I would say, yeah, let's do a commercial, but we could actually share maybe some of the benefits of the app. A lot of people know the downsides of, say, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest or Twitter, or all of those. Those are common platforms that we're probably all pretty familiar with. And a lot of people, I think, are scared to download a new app, not sure what it is, especially if it's one that has money tied to it. They're afraid it's going to charge them. So we could talk about some of those benefits and how to make sure that the app is paying you, not just charging you.
Yeah, I like that. And can you explain a little bit how that works? Because I know right off the bat, people want to understand, like, okay, there's so much out there, and some people are making mad money on it, and some people aren't making any. And then there's a bunch of like trolls and knuckleheads that are running around with false information on how you can make money. And so how do we differ from like that rhetoric, that fodder? Because there's a lot of it, and you can get lost in it.
Yeah, it's easy to get tangled up in that stuff. And we all know that there's good and bad cops, there's good and bad doctors, good and bad lawyers. It's the same thing in every profession. And so there's obviously good and bad owls. Now, owls is what we call our experts on the platform, and owlette is more or less an advice seeker. So if you want to earn money, you need to go through the vetting process, submit all your credentials, etc., and do your social media connections, put your website on, whatever you want to do, so that they can vet who you are and that you are an expert in your field. And that way you can go through, and now you can actually earn money, allowing people who need or would like to get your advice can actually call you, and you get to set your own price. So that's pretty cool. But I want some of the others to also share some of their favorite benefits of the platform and what they see, because there are so many different benefits and ways you can use this platform. I really look at it as it's more of a gold mine. If you want to grow your company or your business, this is where you can truly build relationships with people who not only want to grow relationships, but they want to grow their business. And so if you're looking for business owners who are truly professional and authentic, then this is one of the best platforms I've ever found. So with that, let's jump to Nicole. Nicole, what is your favorite benefit of the Owwll platform over some of the other platforms that you've used?
Well, being that we're always on the lookout for trolls and knuckleheads, and we've pretty much eradicated that on this app, I absolutely love coming in and knowing that I'm in pretty much a safe space where somebody has done a background check in terms of looking at their bio, at least. So we know we're talking to someone that has knowledge. Someone can go to our bio and see what we do, where we've learned, what kind of certificates we have. And for me, it's just fascinating the amount of knowledge that is on this one app. I mean, I don't know any place else that you could find that. And when you go there, I've gone there and I've got people guiding me through how to post certain things on Instagram or how to tell a story on TikTok. It's really amazing, right down to, someone the other day I talked to was publishing a book and I need to republish something. And, within 10 minutes, and for a very reasonable price, I had the information that I needed. And you can search for what you're looking for by person. And if they're not on at that particular time, you can actually ping them and contact them that way. So that way they know that someone is looking to call them. So for me, it's just been a win-win. The people that I've met, I've also started networking with and sharing contacts. So it's all about learning about each other, teaching other people, but also, like Brian said, if you want to grow your business, this is an absolutely fabulous place to meet like kind people that want to do the same and are willing to help you step up and grow. So thank you, Brian, for letting me share that.
No, absolutely. And I agree with what you shared. That's so true because there's so many amazing experts, not only hundreds, now we're at the 1,000 mark. And that's just the experts. There's thousands of advice seekers who are there looking for people with advice and wisdom and knowledge. So if you are someone that has knowledge and experience, you definitely want to download the app. And I see Stephen has his referral code right there on his background behind his head there. So if you want to download the app, use his referral code and you get an extra $10. So let's jump over to Champ, Ron there. Champ, what is you found on the app? What's your experience been? What's your favorite feature or benefit of the app?
You know, and I love what Nicole said, and I want to just, add on to that with a little bit different spin. For me, the key benefit is, for people out there that need to get sound advice, right? You think in this era of when, the advent of social media and the fact that anybody can kind of jump on a social media platform and be anything that they want to be, right? That didn't exist before that. And all of us are here are old enough, and most of us probably watching are old enough to remember a time when you went to the white pages or you went to the yellow pages, depending on which one you were doing, right? Yeah, data saw, of course. But those folks had to be vetted, right? The yellow pages would come out, they come to your place of business, right? They would vet you out, right? That went away, of course, with social media. And so now you get, like we talked about, some of the jokers in the deck that sometimes get played. What Owwll has done is it's actually reverted away from that using technology, the very technology that we speak of that allowed jokers to come in. This has been able to keep that out. And what it does is it allows the advice seeker to now have a trusted place again where they can connect and get the answers to questions, guys, and, be able to do that in a concise way. And it allows then the advice giver, right, the Owwll, to be able to connect with people again in a safe space without having to give out their contact info initially. And it still allows for then that network, that heart to heart of human to human, right? That's a little bit more authentic than you find on other platforms, right? There's not this jousting for attention. You're not trying to come up with the best dance or the best caption to point to, right? It's just it's back to one-on-one connectivity with a human being, utilizing the technology where it's got the protections like Nicole talked about. And then it allows for the Owwll to, earn compensation for their investment in time and their expertise. And then the owlet to be able to trust that expertise and gain a great benefit and connect with people outside of even just their local market or local sphere of influence. So as the app grows, I think there's going to be a lot of features, obviously, that are going to be really good. But to me, that's the core of the benefit.
That's a good point. Man, you're hitting on so many nuggets, like everything you just said. It kind of reminds me of what's happening too with even cash transactions at restaurants. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but in a lot of the major metropolitans, there's a lot of businesses, restaurants and hospitalities that don't take cash. And you walk in, it's a credit card only business. And what that is, they want to know that, okay, if you have a credit card or a banking account, then you had to be vetted by the bank. So you're not going to be someone who's fraudulent. You're not going to be somebody who's going to misbehave. You're not going to be somebody who's just going to try to disrupt and break out the back door or do the dine and dash. When you have a credit card, there's this sense of, okay, you're actually dealing with a person who is vetted by a financial institution. So chances are we're probably not going to have any issues, because if there is, you can at least get a digital paper trail where you can find them. So the exciting thing about the Owwll app and the fact that you have to be a business and that business needs to go through all the financial vetting of Stripe, which is the merchant's transaction process, and you have to be a legitimate business in order to get in their system. So anybody that you see on the app, you already know they're incorporated or they're connected to a financial institution with their social security number. And that goes through Stripe. Stripe is vetted. And it's just a real sense of, okay, real people. And I'm not dealing with cash in a brown paper bag from some dude's got the car running out in the alley. And that's one of the things that I feel, because I've been in the internet at the very, very beginning. I remember when the porn industry first flushed out how you could put your credit card and PayPal and all those fraudulent things. And it was a nightmare to do a transaction. There was thousands of fraudulent ways to, get people, but over decades, and the financial institutions took it serious and we need to make this a secure thing for people so that they can feel confident. And I feel we're there now, where we've evolved to where it's a very standard thing to have your corporation with the bank, connected with Stripe, where you can connect that with the Owwll transaction. And now we can put money on and get advice. And so that's one of the things I really, really love about it. Let me take a few seconds right now to run an Owwll bit, and then we'll get back into some chat. So hold tight for me, if you will, and we will get this going. Let me know if you can hear it okay.
No sound yet, Stephen.
Not on that one. I think that one was the one without sound. So let's see about this one. Oh, you know what? Maybe I didn't turn the sound on. Hold on, stand by. So we'll do this again. I think what I need to do is to
filter your searches.
Oh yeah, I got to turn up the sound. That's what I forgot to do.
Owwll will show you the professional's fees.
Okay, so we're going to try this again. And we'll do that. Check the sound. That's yes. What? Yep.
You want a screen share too, probably.
Okay, stand by. Maybe I didn't turn the sound on. Hold on, stand by. So we'll do this again. I think what I need to do is to
filter your searches.
Oh yeah, I got to turn up the sound.
So you've been using the Owwll app to get expert advice from industry professionals.
Okay, so we're going to try this again.
No? Want to get started? Easy. Simply download the app, sign up, and fill in your profile. You're now set to start searching for an industry specialist to join them on a one-on-one call.
Yep.
Customize and filter your searches to zero in on your preferred categories. Owwll will show you the professional's fees, areas of expertise, rating, and customer reviews. Follow your favorites to be immediately notified when they go active on Owwll. Just the tap can get you instantly connected on a live call with the expert. You can pick their brain with any questions, review some of their past experiences, or just chat about an upcoming project. It's that easy to seek expert advice. Simply connect, learn, grow. And now, with the addition of the video functionality, you can view and interact with insightful videos just like TikTok. Experts can utilize the video feature to upload clips to grow followers and keep you educated, informed, and entertained. It's all about you on Owwll, so why not sign up today?
All right. There it is. First commercial, a little bit glitchy, but we got through it, right?
Hey, that's all right. It's the learning curve. We always learn something.
Yeah. Yeah. My system, there's like 20 different ways I can set it up, and I have to remember each time, each way. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So Brian, what's the next rabbit hole we want to get into? The next
we want to still see what Will's favorite benefit was. We forgot to get Will's.
Okay, go ahead, Will.
That's okay. I'll be quick. The benefit is actually a couple of things in one. It's the fact that it uses your phone, but not your number, so that it protects that, and you're not going to get spammed. And I use it as a business card as well. It's one-stop shopping, and then it links to all your social media. There's a share aspect to it. It really is an electronic hub in that sense, where we say a connector app, right? It really does do that. It lets people at moment's notice ping or access to someone on a phone call. The prices are nice and simple. You see what's going on. You can see the information. You make that call, especially for someone like myself that deals with people who are going through trauma. They need access to someone like myself right away. But more importantly, they're protecting their safety by not having their phone number sort of coming in on the what's it called, on like a cell phone, a download or whatever.
Yeah, the caller ID. Yeah.
Caller ID, exactly. So it's super huge. And you can easily, if they needed to delete the app if they want to protect their phone and not show there's a new app on their phone if they're going through some trauma or whatever. So there's so much there just in that safety aspect where the calls, as we know, are not recorded either, that you can't guarantee on other social media platforms. So
that's a very good point.
Yeah,
Because
a lot of great points there.
yeah, a lot of the advice you're given is very personal. It's very proprietary to, your corporate, intellectual property. So it's not anything that you want to get out there. A lot of the stuff too, if you're working with multiple companies like myself and you're getting advice, some of the advice you're asking for might be a little bit of a fringe on an NDA that you might have with a writer or a director or whatever, but you're the producer that's got to put it all together. So there might be some information that might be a little bit prioritized and
proprietary, you mean?
Yeah, proprietary. And you don't want, it to be recorded that you're out there asking questions about what you need to do. And, so the fact that these aren't recorded, it, gives you a sense of safe and secure that, okay, you can have a private consultation on some very sensitive material that you have questions on, and you want to make sure that you do right by the clients, by the partners, the sponsors, the investors, whoever is involved, without having to, have any kind of washback or any kind of blowback on, something that is recorded. So that's a very good feature that you brought out.
Yeah. And Stephen, one of the features that I would love to share about too is you think about back in the old days, how many of you guys received quote unquote cold call or marketing calls? And nowadays we all get robocalls. What I love about this platform is that if you want to go out and quote unquote solicit business for yourself or someone else, for example, you're not just cold calling. These are people who are live and active. They're hoping and expecting you will call them. They're not eating dinner, hopefully. I mean, I guess they could theoretically do that while they're on the phone, but in general, they're literally there and paying attention. And so because you're paying for the call, you can kind of dictate the conversation, ask the questions you need to ask, and really find out whether they're a good fit for whether it's a client for your business or maybe a collaborative partner, so to speak, or maybe someone that could help you and advise you, help you take your business to the next level. And so I look for which of those three options does this person best fit into. And so my goal is to have as many conversations with people as I can. And then I can put them in one of those three categories. And now I know how to move forward because I look at it pretty much every person as they're going to be in one of those three categories, either now or in the future. So somewhere along the line, either I'll need them, they'll need me, or we can potentially collaborate on something. And so that's where I look at it as this is really a gold mine. Right now, you've got 1,000 experts that you can search and filter. If you have a specific niche that you want to fill or a target market, you can search for that. Obviously, if Will is helping women through divorce, he's not going to go searching for all the guys. He's going to search for the women. And so obviously, if I'm looking for all realtors, I'm going to look for the realtors. If I'm looking for all the lawyers, I'm going to look for the attorneys. So there's a lot of ways you can filter, but you can also filter by their hobbies. So if I just want to search for lawyers that like to golf, then I can filter by that too. So I like it better than a Google search in the fact that you can actually filter by their hobbies and find the person. And it's not just some YouTube video and you hope they knew what they were talking about. This is literally talking to the author of sorts or the, author of a book. It could be the, educator of a course. So you don't realize the power you have where so many people want to talk to even a celebrity. There's celebrities on there. Who knows? Your idol might be on the app. And it's pretty cool when you can literally pick it up. Like the other week, I was talking to a pro wrestler. How cool is that? I mean, you just don't get that chance every day to pick it up and, talk to one of the pro wrestlers that's been in the ring with The Rock. That's pretty hard to believe.
Yeah, and I was able to sign up Mike Devereaux, who's got 2 World Series rings, one with the Atlanta Braves and one with the Dodgers. So he awesome. Signed up. He's on the Owwll, and it's cool to be a fan of any of. He's played for like 6 different teams. So
Wow.
and he did very, very well on all the teams that he was on. So he's excited. He's got over like 25 baseball cards that he can sell from the various teams as well. So he's using it as a platform for his fans to get a chance to like talk with him one-on-one. And how cool is it to, you know, drop 10, 15 bucks to have 10 minutes with a, you know, 2-time World Series legendary baseball player. And that is one of the most exciting things about app that I found. Being a sports guy, how cool would it be to have like all of your favorite sports legends on? And I'll pay 50 bucks, 100 bucks to get on and, you know, and talk to, you know, Cal Ripken for 10 minutes, or Evander Holyfield, or Michael Jordan. You know, when it gets to the point to where they see the value of Owwll and then they start pushing it amongst each other, then you're going to see a completely different platform. And people will be logging on just to talk to their favorite sports legends. So the fact that we've got a couple people on already to kind of break the ice in the legendary sports arena, I think that is a very, very cool thing for Owwll. And Brian, I wanted to ask you and the rest of the panel, like, what are some of the ways that you are using like your own business and your own brand to kind of leverage the Owwll brand and what you're doing with your core business and what it is that you do? I'm going to go first and kind of use my my website as an example of, you know, my idea of something that I've done. So I'm going to go ahead and share it real quick. And this, did I grab the right one? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I did. Okay. So you can see like this is Pod Brother Nation is my website, and I've got my scrolling post on. And so like, for example, like the show that we're doing tonight, if I'm doing anything that has to do with the Owwll, I'll put that in my post, in my feed. And anybody that's interested in seeing what's going on with how I'm using my company, my live stream, my comedy, my podcast to tie into Owwll, then what I'll do is a post. So this is a post I did for today's show. And basically this is what we're doing for the whole week. So the Owwll live streams for August 15th through the 19th. So tonight we have this, and you click on that link, it'll take you right straight to the live feed that we're doing now. This is my film festival for the podcast. And by the way, I'm going to run those Owwll commercials on the big screen out on the driveway. So that's how I'm going to be able to tie in the drive-in film festival with the Owwll app, because in between the podcast and the short films and the music videos, I'm going to run those 30-second Owwll spots. So I basically just took what Jason sent us of what's happening for the day, and I posted it on this post. So you can see what's going on for the week. This is what was posted and what people did yesterday. So this page basically is my post on everything that's going down with the Owwll live stream today, or this week, I should say. And this is what we did yesterday on the Clubhouse, for those of you who went to that and was able to listen to everybody and learn a little bit. So tomorrow, I'm going to post on the top of this page what's going on tomorrow. So this is one example of what I'm using my website for. But then you go to my live stream. If you click on this live now, this will take you to a page where I have the integrated live stream of the show we're doing right now. So anybody who's watching this show on the live stream now, that's the page that you're going to pull that live stream up, and you'll be able to watch. Now, the technology, what's going on tomorrow. So this is one example of what I'm using my website for. So as you can see, it's a little bit of a delay. And so the folks that are watching it live on the internet, right on my page, they're getting this like a 45-second delay. And it's a live stream, but with the 45-second delay on it. And then I have in the bio a little bit about Brian, a little bit about Will. And so you can read a little bit about who they are, what they're about. And if you want to make a contribution to my network, there's a donation button there for keeping the network live and kicking. So this is kind of an example of what I'm using on how I can integrate the Owwll app into what I'm doing. Do you guys have some examples or some stories of how you're using the Owwll to integrate into your business? Nicole, you want to go first?
Sure. One of the things I've been doing, and it seems to be working pretty well, is I will post on my Facebook and or my Instagram. Like the other day I posted a picture of me like holding a little owl. And it was just a fun picture, but I give them my code and say yeah, that's right, Brian. I give them just enough info to pique their interest, but not enough. They're going to have to generate either a call or we're going to have to connect somewhere and talk about it. So we're either going to talk on Messenger or we're going to have a phone call. So that lengthens it a little bit because they're interested in what it is. That way I can explain to them about Owwll. I can get in what I'm doing, which is forgiveness and spirituality. So they learn that about me. They learn how you can set your own hours, which everybody loves, set your own price, which everybody loves. So it generates different conversations. And I've had some really good success getting people to join that way.
That's awesome.
So one of the things I've done, Stephen, is share it with, my closest network, my friends and other experts who I feel totally comfortable referring. But in partnering my brand with Owwll, it came at a time where I was looking for some platform where I could really feel comfortable referring other experts. And the fact that he really vets out the experts, make sure they're a real person that has real expertise or knowledge, meant the world to me, because I really do care about my clients and I want to make sure they get the best for what they're looking for. And so that was one of the huge things that really meant the world to me and made me comfortable with partnering my brand with the Owwll brand, because I believe that it is a platform that can change people's lives, whether they're brand new in business or whether they're a veteran and, maybe even potentially ready to retire. They can do this even in retirement and just share their knowledge and wisdom from all those years. But maybe they're brand new and starting up. They don't have to go deal with funnels and all the payment collections. It's all done for you. You basically set your price and you go online and people can call you. So it's kind of a win-win the way I look at it, because whether you're ready to, close down your career journey, so to speak, or whether you're just beginning, it's a win-win. And if you just want to scale it in the middle, this is an awesome tool to come alongside and allow you to reach a whole new audience. So to me, it's just a win-win. I love the brand. I think it makes common sense to partner with almost any business, whether you're, a blue collar worker or whether you're a lawyer or a doctor, doesn't really matter. Whatever your skill set and experience is, you can use it. There's people looking for it. So with that, I'll yield my mic and turn it over to Champ or Will.
Champ, you can go first.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll do so. So, I love what Nicole and Brian had to say, Stephen. And it's a great question, because one of the things we talked a little bit earlier about is, having to download a new app, right? So you're coming to people, and, for those of us that have been around a little while, we've had a network and we've shared a lot of things that we're, involved in with people. And at some point, you can, kind of wear out your welcome. Sometimes with, if you're constantly coming with this new thing, and it, it's always the greatest thing since sliced bread and that sort of thing. And so people, like you say, get skeptical. And one of the things that I came to terms with and connected with Brian and Jason with some others really helped round this out is, going to your question, Stephen, is how do you connect the app with what you're already doing or looking to do? That's the key to it. When you get, as the community grows, everybody's not going to be Mr. and Miss Owwll, right? Everybody's going to go back to their real life and do it. For those that do, that's going to be great. But there's going to be a million people that aren't going to do that. right? It's just going to be another piece like the other social audio apps. So what differentiates it? Well, it's going to be, how do you integrate it with what you're already doing? So I'll tell a quick story. And I shared this on the social audio app earlier. So Brian and Will and maybe Nicole have already heard this, but last Friday in my business, one of the things that we do is we provide technical assistance for low to moderate income folks in business. These are folks that won't get introduced to this app because they don't have the network that's going to tell them, hey, get on Owwll and connect, right? You know, they're in inner city Memphis, where 27% of the people live at or below the poverty line, right? So it's a different type of access. And one of the things that is part of our mission is accelerating the shared prosperity, right? So one of the things that Owwll's done specifically, and this has happened last Friday, is we closed a loan, first loan for African-American woman, business owner, first loan that she's gotten for her business. It's going to take her to the next level. But in some connectivity she needed to do down in Florida, she needed, she had a few questions that she needed to ask of someone, you know, to get legal advice, guys. Normally in a normal, I mean, even just, 6 months ago, we wouldn't have had the capacity to do that. Even as her support resource, we would have to try to, like Brian said, try to Google somebody. We don't know if they're legit. We don't know if, they just set up their Instagram page yesterday and now they're an attorney. You don't really know, right? But because you have Owwll, where we were able to go in and identify an attorney down in the South Florida area who was live, we reached out to her. And, we have, kind of a technical assistance budget. Again, as a nonprofit, we provide that. So we have a budget where we'll help people with things like this. And so we were able to have and get the questions answered at a fraction of the cost that it normally would have been, right? If we were just calling, out the blue down there and you imagine trying to get an attorney on the phone, you're calling from out of state, right? They don't know who you are. You don't know who they are. You're trying to do all this vetting. You might talk to them and say in 6 weeks, and you're going to pay, say $300 an hour to get your questions answered. Well, Owwll is shrunken all of that curve, right? To where now, and the way I use it in my business going forward is there's a technical assistance piece where I can connect people who normally wouldn't have access to that network, like an Owwll, those experts. Now they have access, right? And they can do it at a fraction of the cost. And like it was said earlier, the timeline in which to make that connection shrinks. And so it's a huge game changer there, because now it allows people, again, who come from a different walk of life. These aren't the 6-figure 1% earners. These are folks that are, looking for, their opportunity, and Owwll's able to serve them. Whereas, again, when we talk about other platforms, they don't always serve that demographic, right? And so we're able to be a conduit to introduce people to the Owwll app that way. And guess what they find out is now, okay, there's these other experts out there, right? And like Brian said, I can search, for these people, even based on their hobby. And one of the quick features, and then I'll be quiet, is, the ability to add, and customize your hobby in there is a huge game changer for us too, because now people can search by, say River City Capital, and find me by my company, right? That's a huge game changer. You could search Memphis, if you get people on there, they start using those custom, hobbies. Now there's a way to search almost in an affinity group type setting for even further connectivity and community growth. And so I think that's a huge game changer. That's how we use it for our business. We'll continue to do that. And we see that as being a great game changer that really expands our territory. So hope that helps.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm just listening to you too. It made me think of another way that I'm going to use the app. I haven't engaged this yet because I haven't taught my workshop yet in order to do that. But I plan on using it for my my stand-up comedy workshop. So what I've been able to do is, say, for example, let me just share the screen with you guys real quick. All right, so this is my PNN Academy. I teach stand-up comedy, acting, production, directing, writing, voiceover. There's a lot of different workshops that you can take. You can also do one-on-ones, but I do a full 8-hour stand-up comedy workshop, and I teach you everything you need to know in that 8 hours. But then afterwards, after they take the class and they've got the certificates and they've got all the materials that they need to go out and write material and perform and book, they still come back and call me with a question here on this workshop, or a question on that lesson, or a question on this topic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them all download the app. And if you have a question, like a post-workshop question for me, then you can go on that app and ask a couple of quick questions for whatever the fee I have at the time. I think my fee is like $10 for 10 minutes, which is not that big of a deal. But you can come in and you can just ask those quick questions in under 10 minutes for $10, and then you're off to the races. So this is one of the ways that I'm going to use the app in a practical sense for my stand-up comedy workshop.
Cool. I'll be quick, if I may. As someone who's new to the entrepreneurial world, although I have experienced 15 years worth of helping people, guiding them, saving lives, and so on and so forth. As an entrepreneur, I'm new. Not only that, I've combined, it's a hybrid service that I do, without selling that, just in terms of just the technical aspect of combining all these pieces of understanding government, understanding, the coaching component, understanding, law, understanding all these pieces. There's a lot that goes into education, right? Who is this guy? Why is he important? What's going on? Whatever. And with Owwll, because the app has an algorithm that vets the person, it really does cut down that time where I don't really have to explain overly or too much, where it's a bombard of information. And then in my case, you could lose a customer because you have to sort of over-educate. And what is it? Is it an education call? Is it a discovery call? Is it a strategy call? And so on and so forth. And that ability to say that, hey, I've been vetted. Hey, I'm legit. Hey, it took all the information of me being as a source on major publications, which I'm blessed to be, and so on and so forth, and all these other pieces, putting it together and saying, hey, this is cool. And this guy knows what he's talking about. You can trust him. And not only that, it's a cheaper rate on the Owwll app now, partly for a number of reasons. One, I want to help. And two, it's an onboarding process as well. I want people to know, like, and trust me, to realize that I know what I'm talking about, give them 3 major strategies on the call. And then from there, they call back, great, they don't, either way. But as someone who's new, and there's another fundamental piece, is when you get questions, you learn what other people want. Because again, business is not about me. I know the information, I know all that stuff. It's about serving others and giving the most value you can to somebody else. And so oddly enough, I've gotten more phone calls about dating advice and what to look for in an abuser or an abusive situation or narcissist or whatever it is while dating, believe it or not, more of that than anything else. And so I'm tailoring a program right now that's going to address that. I have webinars coming out in September. I have other, ebooks, books, and whatever coming out. So if you have your ears open on an app like Owwll, where you have your list, your bio and your expertise and everything else, and people call for things that are on the edge of that, you can then expand for someone like myself who wants to, sooner than later, retire from government, although I love what I do. I want to be able to do what I'm doing for my company to give more service to as many people as possible. So as a new entrepreneur, I cannot stress it enough. Not about me, but about the new entrepreneur aspect. And that it vouches for you, especially if you're in doing something that's unique or different or whatever. This is an incredible app to use for phone calls, for advertising, for education, for all that kind of piece. So
that's awesome. So, so as far as like getting folks who aren't necessarily experts or ambassadors to get excited about the app, what are some of your ideas on how you can reach out and get people? I know Jason has been really aggressive in getting some experts and getting some ambassadors to come on and being thoroughly vetted in their expertise and their professionalism and their business and whatnots. But what do you think is the strategy or the plan, or what ideas are out there just to get regular professionals, students, civilians that want to come on and just learn from the ambassadors that are already here? Do you have any ideas on that side? You know, I think they're called Owwlets. Brian, is that correct? We're Owl ambassadors, we're Owwlets. So
Yes.
what's the movement for getting more Owwlets that they can reach out to us? And what are some of the strategies in getting them on the platform?
So there's a number of different strategies. I would recommend you just talk to everybody you know about it, because one of the things I do know is this platform has already pretty much saved a child's life, because someone who was on vacation was able to reach out and notify a doctor that they needed help. And the doctor was able to come online. They made a call and they basically were written a prescription right over the phone, more or less, to go and get a second opinion. And so you look at that, you just never know when someone might be in a crucial place and need to talk to Will or myself or Nicole or Champ Ron or even you, Stephen, because we never know who we're going to need at what point in life. And so share it with people, because it's literally like sharing Google with them, whether they want to be an expert on there and make money, or whether they just want to have it in their pocket in case they ever have a question, they can go on and talk to somebody. It's a great place to connect with people. And I know, Stephen, you probably also understand a lot the value of a mastermind and being able to get someone else's opinion of what you're about to do. And this app is an incredible place to do that. And all of us here are also a part of the Owwll Mastermind, which is called the Owwll Club, which is such a powerful mastermind. It's super reasonable because my friends that run masterminds are anywhere from $10,000 to $75,000 a year. And so this one is only $10 a month. So at this point, while the price is cheap, I would recommend get in if you feel like a mastermind, having some other people to give you valuable feedback, help you think through what you want to do, how do you want to expand, you know, maybe change your branding or marketing. And that's where I think the Owwll app comes into play, because it's not only for your advice, it's for your collaboration, bringing on new people, finding a VA to help you expand your company, do your marketing for you, or handle all your emails, whatever it is. There's always some part of your business that maybe you're a little less comfortable with doing yourself. Then you should hire someone to do your weaknesses and then do what you're the best at. If you're the best at marketing, then do the marketing. But if you're the best at fulfilling orders or whatever else it is that you do, then that's what you should do. Find someone else to do the marketing if that's what you hate. So find people to do what you're the weakest at or the least proficient at. And that's what you can do here on the Owwll app. And if that's what you want to do, that's how you can really scale your business, take it to the next level, find the correct expert to help you know how to scale your company, how to make more money, how to get out there to the masses, because there's a lot of different professionals. There's people on there, not only athletes and, you know, celebrities, but there's a lot of really, really high-end business owners who have maybe sold their company recently for hundreds of millions of dollars. How wise would it be to talk to some of them about how to build a company from ground up? So
Right.
Yeah, it's great to get everybody on the app, but on the other hand, think of the value that you have if you just go on and utilize it yourself. Make a couple calls, try it out. You get $10 when you use Steven's code there behind his head. So try that, take the $10, call a couple people, you know, pick their brain, ask them for advice, and see the value in the platform. And now you know how to use it. And now you've literally got a tool that you can share with all your friends and family, because you never know when that might save them or someone they know.
That's awesome.
That makes sense?
Yeah, that does. That makes a lot of sense. You reminded me of plugging my code. Why don't we each plug what our codes is, so folks that are watching this who find either of us their favorite on this show, they can use their promo code. So let's do a round robin, and everybody just say your code real quick so that the folks who are watching can support you as well.
Can you show us how to do that, Stephen?
Well, you can just say it, and just say it, because I was going to run the commercial after you guys all did your code.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Just say your codes. You guys will have to write them down or memorize them, and then but you can put your codes in the chat too. So just click on the chat and plug your codes in there, and because that's going to be on the recorded side of it as well. So plug your codes in there, and then one by one, just say what your code is.
I'll go first. This is Will, and my code is WK 653416.
This is Ron, and my code is RB401971.
And this is Nicole. I am NH160579.
And my name's Brian Strubhar, and I'm full of BS. So my code is BS305397.
Awesome. All right, let me run this spot and we'll get right back before we break out of here.
So you're an expert, and you know it. You've mastered your area of expertise. But monetizing it? Now that's a skill set in itself. This is where we come in. Say hello to Owwll. Connect, learn, grow. Whatever your field of expertise, you can now provide people from all walks of life the chance to pick your brain as a specialist. Once you've signed up, it's super simple. It all starts with you. First, fill in your profile by telling your audience about yourself and your expertise. Next, apply to become an Owwll. Then, connect your social media profiles. Finally, set your cost per call. If you're approved, you will start appearing in Owwll search results and start earning money for providing wisdom. Owwll provides the opportunity to filter profiles, read their reviews, and interact instantly with them through live voice calls. Your followers are immediately notified when you're active on Owwll. You control your schedule. Set your availability around your calendar at a moment's notice. So why not sign up today to monetize your expertise?
Awesome. They did a great job on those commercials, man. They're professionally done and they sound good. They look good. And I'm very impressed with Jason and how he put these together. So
yeah, I love that, Stephen. They are nice. And I'll tell you what, for anybody who has not tried the Owwll app, they're obviously just missing it or just don't realize the value of it. It's not scary. It's not something you have to worry about. It's not going to just up and charge you at the push of a button. You have to actually set it up if you want to add credits yourself.
Right.
So there's really nothing to fear.
And did we get a chance to plug everybody's website and how we can get, are we doing that on these just so people can,
if you want to.
Yeah, that way they can kind of vet you a little bit from your web page. So
would you like us to just put our websites in the chat?
Yeah, put your websites in the chat. That's fine. And if you want to go ahead real quick, we have like a couple minutes left, and just go ahead and tell us what your website and how we can find you.
Cool.
Go ahead, Will. Why don't you go first?
Sure. Cool. So my name is Will again, and the website is controlandpowerstrategy.com. It's in the chat, www.controlandpowerstrategy.com. And for 10 extra seconds, there's actually a student that called on the Owwll app, and her dad was being abused by the mom narcissistically. I was able to walk her through it in 10 minutes. And it was anonymous for her, which is what she wanted. And she was able to get the advice she wanted, and she was able to help her dad, which is a really cool thing. So we do make an impact. There is an actual impact on what we're doing, even in 10 minutes, by the way. So I just wanted to throw it out there.
Cool. Thank you, brother. Yeah. Ron?
Absolutely. Ron Brooks. You can simply go to champ10k.com. So that's champ10k.com. That's where you'll find my websites. You'll find contact information for me. You can link up with me on Owwll. I've got some free and reduced cost resources out there for you. So champ10k.com. And if you want to schedule time with me, even on Owwll, you can do so right there. So thank you so much.
That's awesome. Brian?
Yeah, my website's pretty simple. It's just nextstepmindset.com. Pretty easy.
Cool. Nicole.
You know what? I kept mine super easy, so I never forget anything. So it's NicoleHarvick.com. I never forget who I am yet.
You forget your name.
I hope not. If I get there, I'm going to find an Owwll expert to walk me through dementia. So,
That's awesome. I have myname.com too, Nicole. That's the best way to go, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I did that too. Do you look in the mirror and go, what's my name?
I'm a .com. What do you know?
Who am I today? Who am I going to be? So yes, so far so good, guys. I'm hanging in there.
That is awesome.
Fantastic.
Well, you can catch me and everything that's happening on the Owwll podcast at the PodOwwll.com. You can catch my comedy at podbrother.com, and you can catch all of this content on podbrothernation.com. So I keep it simple too. It's
it's awesome.
I'm a pod brother. What can I say? There's only one, and it's me.
Horse of a different color.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are going to end this show with a commercial, and thank you guys for showing up. You're wonderful, and we'll do it again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Stephen. We'll see you in the club.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks again, Stephen.
Thanks a lot, guys. It was
Bye, everyone. I learned
Thank you,
something
everybody.
from all of you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
take care, great people.
Absolutely. See you guys
Thanks.
soon.
all right. So hang on, and we're gonna leave with this commercial right here. Here we go.
So you're an expert, and you know it. You've mastered your area of expertise. But monetizing it? Now that's a skill set in itself. This is where we come in. Say hello to Owwll. Connect, learn, grow. Whatever your field of expertise, you can now provide people from all walks of life the chance to pick your brain as a specialist. Once you've signed up, it's super simple. It all starts with you. First, fill in your profile by telling your audience about yourself and your expertise. Next, apply to become an Owwll. Then, connect your social media profiles. Finally, set your cost per call. If you're approved, you will
All right. Did I kill that too early? I think I did.
A little bit.
That
Thank you,
happens
Stephen. You're
sometimes.
awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.